I used to think I was just a bit absent-minded. Getting old means forgetting small things. That's normal, I told myself. Until one morning, I stood in the middle of the street where I had lived for over 20 years and couldn't remember the way home. That was no longer ordinary forgetfulness. That was a signal. And then I realized those signs had appeared long before. I just ignored them until my memory truly forced me to stop and look deeply at myself. Names seem like the last thing we could forget. Yet I found myself hesitating for a long time, trying to dig through my memory, and still couldn't remember my next-door neighbor's name. I remember their face, voice, even the last time we talked. Just a name, as if it was drifting in fog. Later I learned that was one of the earliest signs. Names of people, new information, are the first things our brain begins to lose grip on. One morning I made tea as usual. Prepared water, teapot, tea leaves, and waited. But when I drank it, I discovered the water was clear. No tea leaves. I had forgotten to add them. Similar things happen when cooking, doing laundry. I often missed a step. Sometimes I couldn't even remember when I'd started the task. And that made me begin to doubt myself. A very strange feeling, as if I could no longer trust myself. "What day is it today?" I asked my wife. She answered, "Tuesday, dear." A few minutes later, I asked again. Exactly the same question. I didn't do it on purpose. I truly didn't remember that I had asked. That feeling was very odd. It made others think I was absent-minded or not paying attention. But actually, I was paying very close attention. My memory just wasn't recording what had just happened. I was telling my daughter an old story about my military service when I was young, a story I had told countless times. Yet in the middle of it, I suddenly fell silent. I couldn't remember what I had just said. Couldn't remember which part I was going to tell next. The flow was broken. I felt empty, as if the power had been cut. At that moment, I saw the look in my child's eyes, more sad than worried. I knew this was no small matter anymore. I found myself less patient than before. Small noises would irritate me, gentle reminders would annoy me, and I didn't understand why. I just felt everything around me became overwhelming. Later I learned, when memory declines, the emotion regulation area also functions poorly. I could no longer process things smoothly like before. I used to have good direction skills, but now, at the supermarket, I often forget where I park my car. One day, I went to the market, a familiar route I'd taken for decades. Yet when returning, I suddenly felt lost. The surroundings were the same, but I wasn't sure which way led home. That made me start to fear going out alone. Once I searched for my glasses all morning, finally finding them in the refrigerator. The TV remote was in the medicine box. I didn't remember putting them there. I didn't understand why either. This wasn't just forgetting. It was that my brain no longer recorded small actions. It was as if I was living without truly recording anything. I used to enjoy conversations, but gradually I became hesitant. Not because I was afraid, but because I feared I would forget the name of the person I was talking to, Forget what I just said. Forget even how to start a conversation. I began refusing to meet people, refusing to talk, refusing myself. Causes I encountered. I didn't get enough sleep for many years. I ate irregularly, with little fish, lacking vitamin B12. I misused sedatives without knowing. I exercised little, almost never worked out. I stopped learning new things, repeating the same routine every day. All of this, bit by bit, made my brain slow down, fade away. Small things that helped me stop and recover. I started with small things, waking up early, walking for 15 minutes, looking at trees, looking at the sky, learning to cook a new dish every week, reading a short poem every evening, writing down a few lines of feelings in my journal, eating fish twice a week, taking supplements as advised by my doctor, calling old friends, chatting, listening. After a few months, I didn't remember everything, but I was no longer afraid.